11:34 p.m. I was right. 11:35 p.m. I wonder what the others are doing. 11:36 p.m. Anyway, the main thing is that I am now officially the girlfriend of a Luurve God, and therefore I have put my red bottom behind me with a firm hand. I will never again be found wandering lonely as a clud into the cake shop of Luurve, or picking up some other eclair or tart or fondant fancy. Ditto Eccles cakes and Spotty Dick or... Shut up, brain! 11:37 p.m. So, speaking as the official girlfriend of a Luurve God who has put my red bottom behind me with a firm hand and who will never be wandering around looking for extra cakes, can someone tell me this? How in the name of God's pantyhose have I ended up snogging Dave the Laugh, also known as Dave the Tart? 2 minutes later. Oh, Goddy God! And let us face facts. It wasn't just a matey-type snog. You know, not a, it's all right, mate, I'm just a mate, accidentally snogging another mate sort of snog. It was, frankly, and to get to the point and not beat around the what's-it, a poor snogging situation. 30 seconds later. In fact, it was defo number 4 and about to be number 5. 4 seconds later. Anyway, shut up, brain, I must think. Now is not the time for a rambling trip to Rambleland. Now is the time to put my foot down with a firm hand and stop snogging my not-boyfriend Dave the Laugh. 1 minute later. I mean, I am practically married to Massimo, the Luurve God. 10 seconds later. Well, give or take him actually asking me to marry him. 5 seconds later. And the fact that he has gone off to Pizza-A-Go-Go land on holiday and left me here in merry but dangerous England to fend for myself. Being made to go on stupid school camping trips with madmen, Miss Wilson and Herr Carmeyer. He has left me here, wandering around defenceless in the wilderness near Ramsgate, miles away from the nearest top shop. 3 seconds later. And how can I help it if Dave the Laugh burrows into my tent? Because that is more or less what happened. That is le fact. I was snuggling down under some bit of old raincoat, or sleeping bag, as Jazz would say in her annoying, "Ooh, isn't it fun outdoors" sort of way. Anyway, where was I? Oh yes, I was snuggling down earlier tonight after an action-packed day of newt drawing, when there was a tap-tap-tapping on the side of the tent. I thought it might have been an owl attack, but it was Dave the Laugh and his balmy army, Tom, Declan, Sven and Edward, enticing us out into the forest with their promise of snacks and light entertainment. 4 seconds later. I blame Dave entirely for this. He and I are just mates, and I have a boyfriend and he has a girlfriend, and that is that. End of story. Not. Because then he comes to the countryside looking for me and waving his horn about. We were frolicking about in the lad's tent, and Dave and me went off for an innocent walk in the woods. You know, like old matey-type mates do. But then I put my foot down a bloody badger hole or something and fell backward into the river. Anyway, Dave was laughing like a loon for a bit, but then he reached down and put his arms around me to lift me up the riverbank, and I said, "I think I may have broken my bottom." And he was really smiling, and then he said, "Oh, bugger, it has to be done." And he snogged me. When he stopped, I pushed him backward and looked at him. I was giving him my worst look. He said, "What?" I said, "You know what. Don't just say what like that." "Like what?" I said, with enormous dignitosity, "Look, you enticed me with your shenanigans and, puckering stuff." He said, "I think you will find that you agreed to come to my tent in the middle of the night to steal me from my girlfriend."